objection. Question number 7, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister of Economic Development, what, if any, are the capital costs, write-downs and redundancy costs expected from the merger of the Ministry of Economic Development with the Ministry of Science and Innovation, Department of Labour and Department of Building and Housing?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, specific costings for the items sought by the member are not available at this time. As stated last week when the planned merger was first announced, a due diligence process is now underway and Cabinet will receive a report next month which will provide further information. We are confident, given our recent experience with other public sector structural change, that the costs will be able to be met within baselines. We also expect savings through better coordination, better quality advice and giving businesses one agency to talk to, and that these will outweigh the costs.
The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order,
I seek leave to table a document created by the Parliamentary Library depicting the Ministry of Science and Innovation's shiny new logo, which so far has been relevant for only 408 days.
Order. The member has order. This is a point of order. By order. The members have their right to refuse the tabling of a document. Now, order. Now, look, we'll cut out this chipping across the House while a point of order is being considered. Let me check with the honourable member. That is a document
created by the
Parliamentary Library. Leave is sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is no objection. The Honourable David Cunliffe, supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, I seek leave to table this document created by the Parliamentary Library depicting the Ministry of Economic Development's new website branding, which was relevant for no more than 235 days, sir.
Leave is sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is objection. Is this a supplementary question? The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, why was a full due diligence not completed on the full costs of the merger prior to its announcements? If one was completed, who conducted the due diligence and what was the result? And if it was not prior completed, why not?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, because the government took a strategic decision, it took a strategic decision to, in principle, merge those ministries and then a full public due diligence process. Now, the reality is, the member knows that actually you have to go through a process and that involves a significant number of officials and people in a significant amount of time. It's appropriate that the Cabinet make its strategic decision first, and then that work is done once the Cabinet is keen to move forward.
The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Supplementary. Why did the government merge or propose to merge the Minister of Economic Development with other entities when it has yet to receive any advice from any of the 6 ministerial committees it's announced it will set up to discover an economic development strategy from amongst its laundry lists of action plans?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
The member is just simply incorrect. The reality of the situation is the government has been working, as he knows, across a huge range of areas in the wider economic development space. The government's view, though, is there's a real opportunity to get some real strategic go forward in the areas of innovation, for example, in the areas of skills, which the previous government going back many years grappled with and failed, and also in the areas of productivity and competitiveness. And actually, I note that the member himself said there could be value in the new joined-up entity, and he didn't want to take an ideological stand against it.
The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Does he agree with commentator Colin James that the proposed restructuring is, quote, 1980s MBA think, which reverses the correct order of form following function and function following strategy, and instead puts the organisational cart ahead of the strategic horse?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, I think the member would be more familiar with 1980s MBA speak and think than me. I don't agree with Mr. James on that space. What I do agree with is with a number of stakeholders who have responded to the government's announcement very positively. For example, the Chief Executive of Business New Zealand has said that it will reduce levels of duplication and that will be appreciated by many enterprises. Science New Zealand said that Crown Research Institutes and Science New Zealand welcome this integration. The new ministry will integrate and strengthen the government's policy capability around innovation. The New Zealand Manufacturers and Exporters Association, not one that I regularly quote, said there is no doubt that the number of ministries can be reduced and this should improve operational efficiency and help cut operating costs.
Question number 8, Dr. Paul Hutchison.
Thank you, Mr.